we average like 60 cents to 90 cents a kilogram. What up, YT? We got an Amazon live going on. We're done with the intro, the crazy intro, so let's just get it going. And y'all, I'm going to go question by question, so just keep that in mind. Round 1 KO from Pereira. Rob, bro, everybody was counting out my boy. Do you know how much stuff well, he's not my boy, but you know what I mean. Do you know how much stuff I saw on the internet? No shot he's going to win. No shot, bro. He won, and he won with fashion. That was a great card overall. How many I answered that? I made a mock listing and it still says it's not been flagged. Would that be because I have no photo? Yeah, the listing has to be an inactive, out of stock status FB. The Amazon Vine program is going to be the best way to get reviews, X. How long have you been doing this? Since 2019. When would you recommend to launch PPC? The initial reviews come from Vine and FNF, allegedly FNF, but 10 to 15 reviews. How does the Vine program work? So you submit up to 30 products into the Vine program. You're essentially giving those products away for free. Vine review customers can claim your product. And then when they claim the product, they have to leave a review within 90 days, and it's just going to be an honest review. Not every Vine customer will leave a review, but if they don't leave a review, you're subject to a refund on that. So many people switched up on my boy Pereira. Yeah, bro, it's the casuals. Literally literally the casual MMA fighter fans. Somebody loses one time, and it's just, they're washed. They're going to retire. But that's the internet, bro. Like, so many casuals just in life. Can you give me some insight on how hard it is and the associated costs and timeline? How hard Amazon is? I mean, I think it's fairly simple, but it's the execution that makes a business successful. Average timeline to have a product launch, like 3 to 6 months on the high end. I would say more realistically, like 3 to 4 months. Psyop, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate you. Oh, with the test. Sorry, FB. I would say you'll know within a week, and then your manufacturer should have it. Like, the last product that I launched was a toy product, and I got it done within a couple weeks. Why are electronic products bad? One of the highest return rates on Amazon. So if I can not launch a product that inherently just has a high return rate, I'm going to do that, so I avoid them. It doesn't mean people can't be successful with it, but I just wouldn't personally. How long does it usually take to get them 15 reviews from both FNF and Vine? A bit scared of the FNF. If you don't want to do FNF, just stick to Vine, and that could take a few weeks. It really depends on how fast people claim your product. That fight was early stoppage. Almost all of the shots from Chama were blocked. Ankalaev was fine. Don't get me started. It's funny because we have a group chat, like me and my boys who always go to the fights together. And one of my homies was like, he's like, I'm glad Pereira won, but I think that was early stoppage. I was like, I don't think so. Like, realistically, how was bro getting out of that? So, I mean, maybe it's because I'm biased, but I don't think it was. He wasn't defending. He wasn't getting out of that. What was it? It was a minute 20 into the first round. Like, bro would have just got 10-6 elbowed for 3 more minutes straight. Can you send replacement unit to Vine reviewer? Why would you need to send them a replacement? New to private label, I do wholesale. Is it cool to do both on my current account? You technically could. I wouldn't recommend it just because of all the issues that wholesale has. So if something happens to your wholesale account, you lose your private label account. High competition in return rates for electronics. Yes, I mean there's some products that don't have high competition that are electronics. It's mainly the high return rate that I'm not a fan of. Do you use air shipping or by sea shipping, fast sea shipping? Can you recommend me an Amazon approved testing facility? I get it all done through my manufacturers. Every toy and baby product that I've launched, it's gotten done through the manufacturer and it's been chilling. You can pay extra for more Vine reviews, more than 30. Georgia's get a 230-pound dude to elbow you to me 6'12" too. That's funny. Georgia's is cool, but yeah, I do agree that there was no getting out of that one. But again, I'm biased. I just wanted to see my boy win. I wanted to see that division be saved. How many hours a day do you work? I mean, I work a lot during the day, but on my Amazon businesses themselves, I work like 4 to 6 hours a week. If I am launching like more products or doing like certain product development, maybe I'll work more than 6, but on my established accounts, it's like 4 to 6 hours. Like I'll probably work like an hour a week on this account here. Hey, my boy Ecom was good. Hi, Luke. Hi, Luke. Huge fan. Thanks, brother. I love all my fans, especially you. Thank you for the rose. Are we going to battle? Just kidding. 20 plus unanswered shot usually causes a stoppage. Yeah, and I also think that Herb Dean was like letting Ankalaev know that he was there and was waiting for him to do something. I forget the ref's name, but the one who was the ref for the Marab fight. He's known for early stoppages, but Herb Dean, not so much. He's had a few actually. How many hours? I answered that. Up to 30. Yeah, up to 30 Vine reviews. That's what I was saying. Thank you for the gifts, bro. I'm gonna go use those gifts to go battle your boy that you got in a live with the other day. They did the whole thing with no additional cost. Some manufacturers will. Some manufacturers will. YT thought that was so weird. Sorry, it was a TikTok gift. Some manufacturers will charge you, but some will do it for free as well. Like my last one, I had to pay. The one before that, I got it for free. Do you manage your ads yourself? Yeah, I don't let anybody else touch my ads. How much do you pay for shipping? Like 60 to 90 cents a kilogram right now. Do you manufacture in China? A majority of my products are manufactured in China, yes. What have you sold? My top categories are health and household, home and kitchen, office products, baby products, and toys and games. But I've sold more than that. Those are just the real money makers. Yeah, Barat, I manage my ads myself, brother. Do you have private label? I do private label, yes. We got to get those reimbursements started, bro. Yes. Why did that not show up on my laptop? Yes, Kev, I do. Let's do it. Like in person or like a Zoom one? Oh, he left the live. Okay, sick. I'll text him. Ecom and LB, the collab of the century, huh? What company do you use for your shipping? I was giving $2.50 per kilogram. I have my own contracted freight forwarder, and that's exclusive for my students, Queen. Also, thank you so much for the follow. When you pay, can you give me an idea of the cost? I spent $350 on the last one, FB. 900 is crazy. That's actually wild. I would try to negotiate that down or find another supplier because, yeah, I've never gotten a quote that much for a test. How to get reimbursement on Alibaba from freight forwarders if they lose the box? Well, is the freight forwarder shipping your product, or is it is the manufacturer shipping your product, or is it a freight forwarder? How do I know if I should reorder on a test order? If it's a freight forwarder that's not on Alibaba, then you're not going to get a reimbursement on Alibaba. You have to contact your freight forwarder directly. How do I know if I should reorder on a test order? If your organic rank is increasing, if you've gotten proof of concept on the product, if your conversion is increasing, and if you know that you can turn a profit on the product. What age did you start this business? I'm going to answer it. I'm sorry. I always have to do this. What age do you guys think that I started on Amazon, and how old do you think I am now? I'll give you context, give you a little clue to fill in the gaps. I've been doing it since 2019, so almost 7 years now. So how old do you think? I'll answer it if nobody gets it. Don't worry. But okay, I forgot to say one thing. Let's see. Okay, listen. If you guys know the answer, it's not fair to guess. Let me just throw that out there. 31, 29. Yeah, I look old, huh? FB and Musa got it right, but I'm like 99% sure they've both heard the answer. I started when I was 19. I'm 26 right now. Alex was close, 62, very close. How do you get a contract with shipping from China at a lower price? Contact different freight forwarders. There's Freightos. They're not a freight forwarder, but they're like a broker. You could look for freight forwarders on there. We got 1 click, 1,500 impressions. We also have 11 reviews, 4.8 star rating. What time frame? Sorry, I'm not laughing at anybody here. I'm laughing at this guy, Kevin. Is Prime Day a factor today? I mean, 1 day of data is not that much. Like, yes, that's a low CTR, but it depends how many campaigns you're running. And the problem is, like, people will look at all of their impressions for their campaigns and then all of their clicks, which is good to look at the average, but like you have to look at it like target by target and campaign by campaign. You also probably have really low bids, and then yes, Prime Day could be a factor, but like, okay, how do I word this? Impressions are important, but too many people like put impressions here and all the other metrics down here. Impressions are important because it's going to help with, it's one of the metrics for your CTR, your click-through rate. But ultimately, when it comes down to Amazon ads, like your clicks and your sales are the most important. Now, once you start getting clicks, if you have a low click-through rate, which is going to be your clicks divided by your impressions, impressions do matter. So I'm not discrediting it or discounting it a lot. It's just that, like, you just started. Maybe your bids are too low. Maybe one keyword got a majority of the impressions. And so now you're looking at 1,500 impressions in one click. You would have CTR without impressions. What do you mean by that, Robert? Hey, do you have a video on your page about listing your product? I do wholesale item, but I got stuck. Yes, but I also don't do wholesale, but I guess the steps are still the same to an extent. You wouldn't. Okay, got it. I was confused. I was like, what do you mean by you would get a CTR? Yeah, but if he has one click, his account would show a CTR on average. But that's why I was saying, like, you have to look at everything, like driving, all good. Don't message and drive. But because, yeah, like if he has 5 campaigns and then let's say 5 keywords per campaign, and then one of those keywords is the one that drove most of the impressions, then he's likely has too low of bids. Can you share some legit freight forwarders in China? I mean, the only one that I've used previously was Forwarder One. I don't use them anymore, and they're also expensive. I only use my freight forwarder now, Queen. One of the biggest benefits of being in the AMZ Masterclass, like, just had a student recently who saved like 6K on a shipment. I had another student who he had a large shipment, so he saved like 9K on a shipment. I had a student who contacted 9 different freight forwarders just to see. And I made a video about all 3 of these, but he contacted 9 different freight forwarders, and our contracted freight forwarder won by significantly in terms of cost. Are ad campaigns key for sales to bring that listing sales rank down? Yeah, I mean, you have to run ads in order to be successful doing private label. It's going to, I mean, what drives rank, both organic rank and your subcategory rank? Sales velocity. How do you get sales velocity when you don't organically rank on a product? By driving traffic through Amazon PPC ads. So yes, 100% they are essential. Now, as you start to become more established, a lower percentage of your sales will come from ads, meaning more of them would be organic. How much to join your course? So it's a mentorship, not a course, but I have to correct that always. It ranges between 3 to 5K, and we don't help people find cheap shipping. We just give people an option for cheap shipping. We created our own contracted freight forwarder, so you would have access to them. And like I said, right now we're averaging, and it's subject to change, but right now we're averaging like 60 cents to 90 cents a kilogram, which beats like 99% of freight forwarders. And that's DDP shipping, by the way. Sorry, I wasn't on my YT tab. What up, Shahid? And Galina says, who have to make product inspection? You would want to do it by a third-party inspection company. There's the Alibaba options, but I don't really like those anymore. Same thing in the AMZ Masterclass. We created our own inspection company. So boots on the ground in China. It goes by AQ level 2 inspections, which if you don't know what that is, that sounds foreign to you. But essentially they'll inspect, what is it, like 30% of your shipment rather than Alibaba, who inspects like 10 units. What up, Shahid? Thank you for the follow. You can ask your questions in the chat, bro. I don't get people in the live that I haven't seen in here a lot or that I don't know. But due to my size package, they will charge me based on size, not weight. Shipping is charged based on volumetric weight, Queen. So it's not like the actual weight of a product. So like when I say cost per kilogram, that's using a formula that I don't know off the top of my head, where it takes into account your size and your weight. We have a volumetric calculator in the AMZ Masterclass, but like I said, I don't know the formula off the top of my head. And so that's how shipping is going to be calculated. But your dimensions are taken into account with that. How much they charge for inspection. So Alibaba's most expensive option, which they only inspect 10 units regardless of your sample size or your order size. If I'm not mistaken, that's either like 190 or 210. It's between that. And like I said, that's 10 units. But with the AMZ Masterclass, I believe it's 185, and that's going to be 30% of your inventory, which obviously inspecting a larger sample size is going to be way better for your performance, or not performance, but for seeing if there's any flaws in the product. And it's always good to have that. Would you say it's possible to make 50K profit until next September if I invest 6K into inventory? Nobody can answer that, Drip. Realistically, bro, like anybody who, and this is something for you guys to take and learn from when you're looking for people online. Excuse me. Is that anybody who says like you can make this much money, is it possible? Sure, everything's possible. It's possible that I buy a lotto ticket tomorrow and win $1 billion. I don't know what the lotto is right now, but anybody who's just like sitting there and saying like, yes, you can make this much for this much, blah 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 blah. Like nobody knows that. There's too many factors in to actually calculate that. It's like, okay, is it possible? Yes. But what if you go launch a product with a terrible differentiator? Then no, you're not going to do that. Or what if you go and launch with barely any reviews, your PPC ads, and then just go waste thousands of dollars on ads? Then it's going to be a little more difficult. So there's so many factors that, like, yeah, sure, if somebody was trying to shill something to you, they could answer that question. Answering that question is technically illegal, by the way, but it's just too many factors. What I always say is, like, if you want to start a business, learn about the business and go start it. Don't think like, can I make this much in this amount of time or this or that? Like when I started my first Amazon business, I wasn't sitting there. Like I had goals. I was like, yeah, I want to go pay for my rent, get off my best friend's couch. But I wasn't asking my cousins, like, do you guys think that I'm going to make $15,000 a month by next year so that I can, get off my friend's couch? All I said was, I hope this inventory sells. I said, I built it. I did all of the steps, all the fundamentals. I said, if I can sell these 300 units in 6 months, that's how much time I gave myself. Think about people on the internet. No, I actually sell. It's my second month and I got 4K in sales, but I have a goal of 50K profit. Okay, if you've already started and you're at 4K in sales, hopefully it depends on what your profit margin is, but like that's a good start, bro. So 50K profit total, like let's assume that you have a 25% profit margin on that 4K. 1K a month right now, that's sweet. Now, that's not quite there to get you to 50, but maybe you go launch more products and you continue to scale that one product, because then what happens when you get that to 15K at a 25% profit margin? Now you're getting closer and closer to that goal. These are all hypotheticals though. But yeah, good for you, man. That 4K is amazing, and I wish you Godspeed. Yes, they multiple the dimensions by 6,000, and it comes out to $9 each package. Base it on the cost per kilogram though. So take the total amount that they're charging you and then divide that by the volumetric weight of your shipment, and then that's going to give you your cost per kilogram. How much attorney charge for trademark per class? My attorney, or like just your average attorney, AB? Volumetric, length times width times height, volumetric divisor, usually 5,000. Yeah, and I failed most of my math classes, y'all. I have a calculator do it for me. Can you tell me a distributor contact? I do private label. You think courses are useful to be successful in this business? If you find the right one, it can help. I'm never going to be like, yes, if you get a course, you'll be more successful, or no. Like, you could do it on your own, but like, it depends. I think courses are useless. So like, if somebody just gave you a video guide and no extra resources and no actual mentorship, like, I wouldn't have learned that way. I didn't have a video guide outside of YouTube where I was like learning. I had my cousins who were my mentors, and like having direct access to them, that was huge for me. Like, I don't think I would have been successful without that. But it really depends on the person, because I recently I have a lot of student results of people who win in my program, but I recently made a video about how one of my students failed selling on Amazon. They launched a product. They went through the curriculum. They literally listened to nothing that I said. We got on a one-on-one call. I was auditing their account. I said, okay, you need to make this change, this change, this change, this change. And you have to ease up on PPC ads until you make that change. A few weeks later, I get a message. They're like, bro, I've now spent 6x on my ads and I'm losing money. I'm in the red. I said, did you make any of the changes that I told you to make? They're like, nope. What are you going to do? This is another language to me, LOL. How could I ever learn all this? Oh, the beauty of it, Layla, is that think of myself, think of anybody who's ever sold on Amazon. Like, it was all another language to me too. I didn't know what PPC meant. I didn't know what a product listing was. I didn't know how to develop a product. I didn't understand Amazon reviews. I was one of the people who just thought like Amazon, the products that were bought on Amazon were sold by Amazon. I didn't understand anything about the ecosystem. But it's kind of like, what's a good example of this? Can't think of one off the top of my head. I mean, I guess anything in life, you don't know till you know. Like, I didn't know anything about astronomy until I took a class on it. I didn't know anything. I took an oceanography class, so I didn't know anything about that till I took the class. I didn't know how to do division until I learned division. I didn't know how the history of World War I or II until I learned it in history. Like, that's kind of the beauty of the world, is you don't know till you know, and then you learn. So it's nothing to feel like less than with, but it's just something that you go and learn. What's your margin? Over 40%. No, I answered that. If you were to go into a service industry, what niche would you most likely choose? I mean, I hope you're not basing this off of like whatever I say is the niche that you would go into. It's whatever you think you can excel at. I actually have a service-based business. I just don't really talk about it a lot here on TikTok. Maybe I'll start making content about it because it would be a good marketing tool for it. But yeah, I already have a service-based business. We just started it this year as well. Average attorney per class. I mean, well, that's the thing. Like, to register a trademark, it'll cost you like $1,000, but per class, it'll be less than $1,000 once you start to increase classes. I want to buy something with pumpkin spice, so it's seasonal. Should I go into it heavy? Should I not go heavy into it? You shouldn't go into it at all. Seasonal products are not the move. Okay, thank you so much for the follow. Do you have a mentorship or just a program? It's both. Survival of the fittest type of thing. Yeah, 100%, man. and this goes into what I said in the beginning of the live. I think everyone is capable of starting an Amazon business in terms of like, it doesn't matter your background. It doesn't matter if you don't know e-commerce. It doesn't matter if you were the person that nobody bet on to be successful. Like, none of that matters. You have the potential to start selling on Amazon. Caveat to that, not everybody is meant to start a business. Not everybody is going to put in the work. Not everybody is going to excel. Not everybody is going to execute properly. So all of that does play a factor. What would you recommend for PPC? I have a lot of videos on PPC Queen. I also have the most in-depth PPC guide on the internet in the AMZ Masterclass. Shameless plug. Nothing comes close. But that being said, I have a lot of free videos as well. I have a whole tab on my TikTok profile on PPC ads. It's like 60 something videos. I think it's too hard to enter a niche with over 1K reviews as a newbie. It really depends on how low reviewed sellers perform, how you differentiate. I would tend to avoid it. What do you think about selling digital products? Is that kind of what you do? No, I sell physical products. To register trademark for $1,000. Yes, it's actually not bad. It's actually cheaper nowadays than it was before. My very first trademark that I filed was $1,500. There's no way I can recover my reviews. That is unfortunate, Tor, but now it's time to just start pushing for more reviews, man. We can't change what we can't change. And I know that's like a blunt kind of advice, but we can't go back in time. If it's really unrecoverable, then you just got to keep pushing forward. Parnas, I already answered that, bro. If it were 2 classes, then what will an attorney/USPTO fee be? Off the top of my head, I don't know. Probably like $1,400 or something. How many reviews do you recommend trying to get through the Vine program? I would max it out, 30 reviews. Are your PPC videos on YT or TikTok? So I have short form videos on TikTok, and then I probably have like 4 or 5 long form videos on ads on my YT channel, same as my TikTok name. I used to respond to comments like this, but I got advice from one of my buddies. He has more followers than me. You just hit him with a block. Never have to acknowledge it anymore. How long does it take to register for trademark? I mean, to get the trademark actually registered, like 6 months to a year, but you can get all of the benefits that come with Amazon, like brand registry, as soon as you file the trademark, because you can just use a serial number. Do you sell Amazon KDP? No, I don't. No, sir, I do not. What was with the guy back in e-com calling him a scammer and stuff? What WTF was that all about? Honestly, man, I mean, I'll speak on it for very briefly for like 1 second, but it's not me, so it doesn't really have to do with me. It's a question for him. But at the end of the day, man, it was a whole thing about like, you didn't tell me you didn't tell the 3,000 people that were on the live right now exactly what you sell. You're a scammer, even though he was showing him his dashboard and stuff like that. It was silly. It was like literally silly. It didn't make any sense. And yeah, I can't say these certain things because it's all alleged. But I heard a lot of stuff about that other dude. Also, he does TikTok battles, bro. Also allegedly, dude just went through a divorce. So it's like he's allegedly. Just want to throw that out there one more time. Dude's on an attention kick, right? I mean, look when I get Kev in my lives, like how many people will be come into the lives, you know? I think one time last week we were on and had like 200 people in the live. It's you're gonna use somebody else's name to try to get attention. Oh, you're telling me if I make a video about this guy, I'll get the most amount of views that any of my videos have ever gotten? Let me do that. You telling me if I get this guy in a live, I'll have the most people that I can in my live? It's like, I'll never tell anyone my products on social media. Am I a scammer? Because I don't want to be like, here's how much money I make on Amazon. By the way, here are the exact products I sell. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I'm surprised too, to be honest, bro. But it is what it is. Okay, I'm just looking for a way to make money with this app. With what app? TikTok? I do Amazon, Layla. So I sell products on Amazon. It's 43% margins before ads, good for FBA. Yeah, that's great. Is private label profitable? I'm profitable. Anything can be profitable. Private label has a higher profit margin than arbitrage and wholesale. How long does it take on average to make 5K per month on one product? Nobody in the world can answer that question, bro. There's too many factors. And anybody who, I'm going to say this one more time. Anybody who answers that question is literally answering it illegally. Like illegally in terms of FTC guidelines in the United States. Like, what product did you launch? What differentiator did you pick? What launch strategy did you do? How good is your Amazon product listing? Do you think selling KDP is worth the time? For me, not necessarily. People do good with it, though. Just because I don't agree with something doesn't mean that it doesn't work. How do you go about advertising products? Do you buy them first and promote them, or use other methods? I mean, I buy them to build products and brands, and then I run ads on Amazon with them. H8, thank you so much for the follow. FBA, yes. Private label. FBA, like it's Amazon FBA, but that can be all different types of business models. Just throwing that out there. How much do I need to start? 3 to 6K USD. 3K, I would say, is the minimum. Yeah, Alibaba's solid. What software do you use to determine what products? I use like Helium 10 to do product research, even though Helium 10. How long does it take to bring customers after posting an ad? It depends what your conversion rate is. It's not like you just post an ad and people buy it. You post an ad, you get clicks, somebody clicks on your product. Do they actually buy it once they click on your product? I don't know what influx you're talking about, bro. I've been doing this for 3 years. Also, I'll just entertain this one, to be honest. Let's use common sense, everyone. Does anybody know how Amazon sellers learn how to sell on Amazon? Well, that's because you're literally in somebody's live who he talks about Amazon, and you left a comment, bro. So I don't know if you know how algorithms work, but you're just going to be seen more because of the fact that you came into the live and commented. But let's see. Yeah, but even if you sit on one of those videos for 5 seconds, the algorithm thinks that you're entertained on that video. If you see a video that you don't like, you can block the person, or literally if you hold down on the screen on TikTok, it says, I'm not interested in this type of content. All right, well, there you go. I did it for you. But to everybody else, so like H8 says YouTube, and then FB says other sellers. Exactly. I learned how to sell on Amazon, and I'm not even speaking to this guy. He got hit with the block. We've been hitting people with blocks faster than ever before recently. But I learned from other sellers. I learned from YT videos. Like all these Amazon people didn't just wake up and God was like, wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh, I know every step on how to sell on Amazon. You learn from other people. Do you source locally for test run? Nope. Do you need to send your products to a professional to create ads and photos? No, Amazon ads is just keywords. You're not creating creatives. Have you ever thought about a training class? I have one, H8, in the Tiki Taka bio, brother, the Harvard of Amazon FBA private label education. Have you had an exit on any brand yet? Yes, I have. What is the gold hand? Is it Legos? Yeah, that's a Lego Thanos hand, Lego Mandalorian helmet, Lego Porsche, Lego Game Boy, Lego R2D2. Shameless plug. Yes, sir. Shameless plug. Thank you for the follow, Enzar. Appreciate you, bro. I actually just ordered a few more Legos for the collection. I'm actually going to get rid of, I won't get rid of the lion, but I'll put it at the bottom. I don't really care for it anymore. That shelf will be Legos. The rest of the R2D2 shelf will be Legos. The one below it will be Legos. Hey, Luke, what's up, my boy? The bird. What's it good? What's it good? Also, while we wait, what other e-commerce platforms do you sell? All of them? Well, not all of them, actually. Our own Shopify store, TikTok shop, Walmart online. Amazon is the GOAT. Walmart is the not GOAT. Will you ever hit 4Ms? I already did. I just haven't updated it. It's good for engagement. So usually I update it every month. But, and I was going to update it like sooner than a month just because I wanted it to show 4Ms. But it's good for engagement because every live we get people saying so close to 4Ms or will you have something like that. So we keep it. What up, Airstick in the YT live? How can you do that? I slave away minimum wage, can't even live properly. Ooh, how to answer this in the right way. I'm going to get to everyone else's question, but I like this comment. Listen, first off, I respect everybody who works, right? If you work a job, I don't care what your salary is. I respect it because there's people out there who just don't want to work. It's very lazy. But yeah, I couldn't live on minimum wage. I mean, in 2019, think about how much more expensive things have gotten since 2019. I was making $13 an hour. So like the thing is, you have two options in life. You continue to go down the path that you're going on, or you level up, you evolve. So like what I would say, and maybe you're doing this, and so I know it's not one size fits all. I'm not judging anybody's scenario, but anytime somebody's like, I don't like the position that I'm in, how do I even get out of it? 30-minute time blocks, right? Let's say you're awake for 8 hours. Let's say 8 hours sleeping, and so you're awake for 16 hours. 30-minute time blocks. Write down what you do. Let's say you work minimum wage. Okay, you work 8 hours. Let's say you sleep for 8 hours. That's 16 hours. And then let's add 3 hours of the day for eating, using the restroom, showering, all that other stuff. Okay, cool. We're at 19 hours. We still have 5 hours left in the day. What do you do with those 5 hours? Are you saying I need to relax because I had a long day at work, so I'm just going to chill and watch Netflix? Are you going out with the boys? What are you spending your money on? Take account for the things you're spending your money on. Are you spending money on, alky, on going out, on eating out? So it's like when you start to audit your life, you realize that like there's a lot of wasted time because you're not going to go from like minimum wage job to if you're spending money on books, that's cool too, especially if they're fictional books. I read a lot of self-help books in the beginning, but at some point you have to take action on those self-help books. Like reading 100 self-help books and doing nothing does nothing for your life. I've been trying social media. I have about 2 hours a day and I can't afford to go out at all. Okay, there you go. So you're trying something. How long have you been trying it? And I respect this, bro. Like if you truly only have 2 hours in a day, sweet. But how long have you been doing it? Because it's like, have you, and then what are you trying to do on social media? Like, is it TikTok shop or are you just trying to be an influencer? Because if you want to be an influencer, go look at somebody like Mr. Beast. Obviously, he's literally the second most followed person in the world. So I'm not saying like compare yourself to Mr. Beast, but like, let's break it down. I just saw like Mr. Beast, he posted a video like hi me in 10 years or something like that. And he posted like on his YT, like a picture thread of his follower count. Let's actually see if we can find it. Not too long. I'm trying to learn to go viral. So bro, hold on, brother. This is real talk, y'all. And this applies to Amazon. This applies to business. So I know we're talking about something a little bit not the same. Let's go to Mr. Beast's channel. How do you find pictures, the pictures that people upload on YT? Where is that? Posts. Here it is. Oh, yeah. Here we go. Okay, ready? So this is important for everybody who thinks like this get rich quick kind of vibe. So Mr. B says, hi, me in 10 years just dropped, and it made me reflect on how crazy of a journey this whole YT thing has been. 2011, 0 subs. 2012, 26 subs. 2013, 100 subs. 2014, 800 subs. 2015, this is 5 years later, 8K subs. 4 years later, 2016, 17K subs. That's funny. I'm actually going to pin this. Hold on. How do I pin it? There we go. 2017, 600K subs. 2018, 2.5 mil subs. 2019, 13 mil. 2020, 29 mil. 2021, 51 mil. 2022, 88 mil. Bro, it's been a 10-year journey. Right? A 10-year journey. So it's not like you're going to just go viral one time. Business success is longevity. I could care less, bro. It's this is one out of 4 or 5-figure seller accounts, bro. I do nearly 8 figures. And also, let me, how about you send me your $4 million a year business with your little United Rescue. It's actually more than 1M net, but I appreciate you going to bat for me, my boy. It's actually an Amazon dashboard. If you had a business and understood. Nope. Why am I acknowledging these? I already said no acknowledging all of these busters. Well, my plumbing company did 8 figures last month. My SaaS company sold for 8 figures in 2023. What's your SaaS company, bro? I kind of doubt that, to be honest. I only doubt it because anybody that I've ever met who is successful doesn't come in and say comments like that. And then somebody with no profile picture with some buster profile, it can say anything. Like if I didn't have my name and my profile picture, I could create a TikTok account and come in and be like, bro, what do you, that's nothing. I sold my company for $10 billion last year. No accountability for the truth. I'll look you up right now, bro. I don't know. ChatGPT just scrubbed you, brother. Nothing. Did you and Yuho go to the same school? Yes. Helium-10 is better. You help students to save money on shipping from. How can I get help from you? My business is on hold due to high pricing. Yeah, like I said, you can look at Freightos, but to try to find different freight forwarders, but the AMZ Masterclass freight forwarder is exclusive for students. But yeah, Freightos is a good option. Mm-mm-mm. Do you think Century Toy is a good category? It depends on the product numbers. Do you do 4Ms last a lifetime? Yeah, 4Ms can get you far. I mean, this isn't all profit. It's at a 40, over a 40% profit margin. Online SHIT talkers. Yeah, man. When did you realize you have enough money? You know, money's kind of a trap, to be honest with you, because when I was broke, I said, you know, if I can just make 5K a month, I'd be happy. And I'm happy regardless. So my happiness isn't tied to my money. But it was like, I'll be content. I'll be satisfied. And then I was like, okay, I got there. And then I was like, okay, if I can just get to 10K. And then it was like, just get to 20. And then it's like, just get to 50. And then it's just like, just get to 100. And you realize it's a game. It's an endless game. So like, and I'll play the game forever, God willing. So like, do I have enough to be content and like live a comfortable life? Yes, but like, I'm just trying to level up to the 100th degree. I'm going to answer this YT question because I'm going to end the YT live, not the TikTok live. If some Vine reviewers don't leave a review, can you send those products to other Vine reviewers so you can get all of the reviews? No, but you can get a refund next gen. TikTok, this isn't for you. YT, I love y'all. I'm going to sign off right now, and I will see y'all soon.